recently I was asked by BBC Radio 5 Live to talk about whether smacking children should be banned, because they're thinking of making it a criminal offence in Wales. So they put me on the radio with a very chatty, shall I say, in the most diplomatic term, professor or academic, I can't remember where she was from. But her argument was that it should be a parent's right to choose and we shouldn't judge. And whilst I agree we shouldn't judge, as you know me, I naturally follow the attachment, gentle parenting style. And there's just something, I parent by instinct rather than by any rigid rules. And there's something that really doesn't feel right to me when it comes to smacking children. Because at the end of the day, we would never smack an adult. And if we did, if it was done in a violent manner, it would be totally out of order. And it's the same for me with a child. Like, don't get me wrong, parenting can be really hard. And even though I say I'm a gentle parent, I say gentle-ish because I have my moments where I do lose my rag. But like, I would never lose my rag to the point of being violent to an adult. It's the same when it comes to children as well. I won't be violent towards them. And if anything, it's our duty to protect and safeguard children from violence, and they have as many human rights as we do, and if not more, in the sense that they are vulnerable and they need protection. So I know it's a very difficult topic to approach because everyone has their reasons and feelings behind it, and I think a lot of it's probably your background. It's always going to be dependent on your situation. But my argument would be that we don't want to criminalise parents, but they need support if they are feeling like they need to get to the point of smacking their child. I think generally we should have free parenting courses for all parents, no matter what your background, because it's something that's really hard and it can be a very positive experience, but it can also be a very challenging experience. And actually, if we had parenting skills and courses where we could discuss these issues and how to discipline in a positive way, then it would save a lot of children from harm, but also it would really help parents and empower them. So I don't think we should judge one another, and I would never judge anyone, but I do think children need protection. So that's why I think it should be against the law to, well, as it is, anyone touch another human being in a violent manner. Even when you think as an adult, even if somebody stood in your personal space, if it was in a violent manner, it would be really intimidating and it would be out of order. So I definitely think children need some form of protection, and parents need the support. They don't need to be criminalised, but they do need support. And actually, by having a ban, it just sends a clear signal that, look, this isn't acceptable. Like, we know parenting's hard and we know most of us lose our rag, but there has to be some barrier. So it's not just a blurred line. Because the woman I was talking to on the radio was saying about, if it's not a red mark or whatnot, there's different levels of smacking. And yeah, I get that, but it's such a slippery slope in my eyes. Like, how can we tell children not to harm other humans out of anger and aggression or retaliation, and then we're there smacking them? So... And people say, well, if it's a tap, but to be honest, if it's a tap as in a game of tag, yes, I'm not saying you can't touch your own child, but if we're doing it in a form of violence, I do think we've got to stand up against it and try and get the parent that support, and also to make sure that they're guided in the right way. Like, I know I've needed help with parenting. Like, I'm the opposite. I struggle with any conflict and strong discipline. So I know I've learned a lot, and I am still learning, and I'm going to do one of Attachment Parenting UK's positive discipline course, because I want to be able to understand my kids better, and I want to be able to parent them in the best way I feel I can. I certainly won't be perfect by any stretch. But I also know that I've needed support in parenting, so it's not something to be ashamed of, and it's not me patronising people. But at the same time, I will always defend vulnerable people in our society. Anyway, that was a bit of a serious vlog from me today, but I'd love to know what you think by commenting below. And for more on gentle-ish parenting and mental health, breastfeeding and whatnot, and my mad family life, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much for watching.